Here is your foot. Look at all the amazing 26 bones that you walk on every single day. And today we're looking at Pilates for runners and how it will help your foot work that much more efficiently for you. And so when we look at the foot and running, I often look at how someone is creating a heel ball toe movement through the foot when you're running. Now that can look different for some people depending on how their legs work or how their hips work. But today we're looking at Pilates for runners. And so when we look at the efficient movement through the foot, we also look at, okay, foot, knee, and hip mobility. And then look at the upper body, how that translates to your upper body movement so it works as one unit. So let me give you one big thing to think about. I'm going to go to some of the exercises. I'm going to demonstrate what we often call the stirrup of the leg. One is the inner thigh, one is the outer leg, like the IT band. What this muscle does, they help to create stability through my foot. So I look at creating lift through my arches. I look at how I'm spreading my toes. And these muscles help me when I'm not using that outer leg or my inner thigh, or even this is called the tibialis muscle right here in the front. It actually goes here and wraps around. And so by engaging this muscle, that helps my arch lift. And so we look at reaching through the heel, pointing your feet. Why is that so important? Well, I'm going to show you today in some Pilates on the floor exercises for runners. So first, I'm going to start with a simple bridge. And this is to help feeling grounded in my feet while I articulate my spine. I roll up and down a few times to lengthen my lumbar, to put some weight in my upper back, and also to help me drop my shoulder blades down the back and lengthen my neck. All of that is related to how I use my feet. So I'm feeling that proprioception of the whole foot into the mat to open up my hips, and then I throw in some simple reaching through my knees to, again, open my hips. And this provides a great movement pattern when I start walking and running, is to feel that foot to hip lengthening. Now, I'll also play with different placement of my feet. So I'm using my feet closer to the middle, so that way as I go into this single leg raise, I can reach through my foot, through my arch, with a grounded foot in my center. And this is important for running, so when you're running, you're keeping a centered feet in line with the inside of your hips, not the outside, but the inside of your hips. And this helps to build your inner thigh and pelvic floor engagement. Now I'm going to go into one of the most basic moves to help build hip stability and strength is the clam. This is one version where I keep my spine stacked and straight and just do the simple clam, my heels together, toes apart. That helps to build what's called the glute medius muscle. When I lift my feet, that isolates it deeper so that I can feel the glute med as it supports my hips. Now I'm adding in a front and back kick. This is again a basic side kick exercise in the Pilates mat practice. So it's a hip opening as well as providing length through my waistline. And notice how I'm using my feet. I'm pointing and flexing, spreading my toes, so that I'm always thinking whole body. This is called develop hay. Again, developing my hip strength and mobility. I go both directions. The key with running is to not become hard in your core, but become fluid within your core, so that you are strong as well as maintaining your ability to stay stable and flexible as you move. Now this one is a little more challenging when I stack my legs and my spine, but it's great for the inner thigh and again the outer hips. Now adding the head lift and the leg lift helps to create support from my head to my foot, and as I rotate, now I'm working on my rib and upper body mobility. I can feel the obliques engage as well as movement through my shoulder girdle. Now this is a Superman, and it's good for developing the back strength and the hamstring strength. We call it the sits bones to heels. So that posterior chain can also help me with my posture and how I run upright. As I transition to the other side, remembering to keep the simple things in place. My hips are stacked, my spine is long, I'm using my breath to support my movement. Keep engaging the feet by either spreading the toes or reaching out the heels. These are the little details that are so important. When you're running, it is a full body exercise, but the little details help to keep everything in check. You're looking for strength, mobility, stability, and then finding ease in the movement as well. And as you work both sides, you'll often notice one side feels weaker than the other. And so you just take your time, and if you need to, spend more time on the side that feels weaker. Not so much for strength, but for connection. And often those are the same thing, but connection really helps you get the proprioception and the nerve endings working. I'm adding the length of my arm as I reach through my leg to help open up my left side, which is usually a little tighter. Now remember, as you go into this side leg lifts, keep your spine long and reach out your heels. And as you lift your head, just use that top hand for balance. And then you can go to the rotations as well. Now I finish off with one more set of swimming. Again, to engage my posterior chain. This helps to open the front of my hips and help with length in the spine. I sit back in child's pose to open my back and lengthen to my tailbone. Now I'm going into a toe sitting where I flex my feet and tuck my toes under. This helps to lengthen through the calves, Achilles tendon, as well as open up the plantar fascia of your feet or the soles of your feet. Now you can practice sitting back as I am, and it may be uncomfortable at first. As you can see, I don't drop in right away. But as you give it time, slowly your hips will release down towards your heels. Now I'm practicing from that toe sitting position to come up to standing as well as sit back. And then do that on each leg about 3 times. As you can notice, my right leg slides forward fairly easily, where I have a little trouble with my left leg. So practicing both sides is absolutely important. The last thing I'll finish with is called cross foot sitting. I'm placing my left foot on the inside of my arch of my right foot. This helps again to spread the plantar fascia as well as lift the arches in your feet. This will help open up your feet as you develop your walking or running and the strength needed through the ankles. So these are the things you can do before you go onto your run to help open your hips, loosen up the ankles, and just create some space in the upper body, because I know you're looking to have your runs feel fun, efficient, and just get into that place where you just feel that nice jog, that nice runner's high that you can get into. So try these out and let us know how that works for you.